Hey guys, it's Jasmine. I'm back with another video. I found a really cool 100 things about me tag and I thought it would be cool to do it for you guys because I kind of need a filler video. My goal is to start uploading 3 times a week and I don't want to just put up a video to put it up, so I thought a question video might be nice because then you can kind of get to know me a little bit better. So go ahead and start right now. And it says, what was the last picture you took with your phone? And the last picture that I took with my phone was a picture of my boys at Bob's Big Boy when we went with my mother-in-law and a friend. I had taken them to Bob's Big Boy and I wanted them to take a picture with the statue. So that's the last picture on my phone that I had taken. Hopefully the next ones don't make me have to get up because then my camera doesn't want to focus. Oh, camera. Number 2, do you know any big gossips? And I guess that means gossips as, I know a lot of gossip. Everybody seems to talk to me about their problems, so I know a lot of stuff about a lot of people, I guess, if that makes sense. Have you ever been pulled over by a cop? Yes, I've been pulled over a couple times. I think the best one for me was my sister was driving way too fast and she was pregnant and everybody in the car was drunk except for me and my sister, but my sister didn't have a license, and a cop pulls us over and everybody in the car is panicked because they're drunk and my sister doesn't have her license and she's driving and a couple of people had weed on them, and I'm sitting back going, I'm 100% sober, I'm not illegally driving, I have nothing to worry about. If anything, I'll walk home. So that one was a pretty interesting little thing. Of course there's more details that go into it, but I don't want to talk forever. Do you know your heritage? Not really. I know that I definitely have Great British in me, or I'm part of my family is from Great Britain. I know that I have some sort of Irish or Celtic in me. My sister from my dad's side told me that we have some like Viking in us. So I don't know if that's more of like a Nordic thing. I want to get my heritage done and my DNA tested, but at the same time I don't, because I just think I don't know if I'm comfortable sending my DNA into somebody. It's kind of like I don't know how to explain. That's a long story, but I think that's what I am. What have you always wanted and did you ever get it? And I have always wanted, and I said, I've always wanted to own my own home. And I said, I don't care even if it's the size of an apartment. I just want to own my own home that I can decorate, and I want to be able to be married with my husband and have my kids. And technically I got exactly what I wanted. Kiki, my cat, is being a brat right now. And he's trying to knock over my tripod. Kiki. Meow. And so I technically got exactly what I wanted, and now I want a bigger house. So obviously it's proof that women are never happy. What kind of sickness have you lied about so you wouldn't go to work? I don't think I've ever really lied about being sick, only because I am always afraid that if I call off for a dumb reason, I'm gonna get legitimately sick and not have enough time. So I've never actually called off just to call off. I've always had like a legitimate reason to do so. What was the last lie you told? That would have been this morning, and the milk has went bad, and I took out the milk and the kids saw the milk and they wanted cereal for breakfast, but they didn't understand that the milk was rotten. Like, I was trying to explain it to them, and so I just told them that we didn't have cereal so that I didn't have to fight with them about the milk, because they were like, I told them, I was like, the milk it's bad, and they're like, no, it's good, it's right there, and they're pointing to it, and I'm like, we don't have cereal. And it stopped. I made them oatmeal. What is my blood type? I have O negative blood, and I'm also RH. I have the RH factor. So, there's that. If you see my arm moving, I'm petting my cat because he's being a brat. Have you ever been in a car accident? I have been in a couple car accidents. The worst car accident that I have been in was when I was younger, and I still have scars to this day. My mom was unfortunately really high on meth, and she was speeding, and because she was so high, she didn't notice that the car that was parked or that was stopped at the intersection wasn't going to go, and she plowed right into him. And the stop sign went through the windshield, and it kind of the glass got in my face because it was an old Chrysler LeBaron, so it didn't have that shatterproof glass yet. There was still kind of shards, and so like the glass got in my face, and I used makeup to cover it up, but I have a big scar right here, and then I had to get surgery, or I had to get stitches on this eye right here, and every once in a while it still splits open, and then I had to get stitches up here, and then I got stitches on this eye as well. And my sister has stitches right here in her face because she was in the back seat, and whatever had happened, because I was asleep and my sister was asleep in the car. We were younger, and when my sister was in the back seat, she must have knocked her head somewhere, and her tooth we thought was busted out, and when we took her to the dentist, he said that it was actually shoved back up into her jaw. So it was a really bad car accident. You know, if you're gonna get high or you're gonna drink, don't drive. I'm very adamant about that. And don't use your damn cell phone either. What's the weirdest prank call that you have made? I don't know. I don't think I've ever made a prank call. I've received one, and I think my favorite one was I was working at Walmart, and I was pregnant, and so I was working at fitting room because I was on night duty, and I get a phone call, and this guy is like, what are you wearing? And I was like, khakis. And he said, you sound hideous. And we both laughed, and he hung up. So I thought that one was kind of funny because he didn't get what he wanted out of the conversation. What's the best compliment you've ever received? I would say the best compliment that I think I've ever received was that somebody said that I looked like I was a great mother with the way that I was interacting with my kids, and that just made me happy. Do you trust anyone with your life? I trust my husband with my life. I think he's probably one of the only people I actually would trust with my life. A doctor, I guess. I've trusted doctors with my life. They were able to put me under, and I'm still here to talk about it. So I guess I trust doctors. But when it comes to people who are close to me, probably my husband is the only one that I would trust with my life. What is my greatest strength or weakness? I don't know what my greatest strength is. Oh, this damn cat hair. I don't know what my greatest strength is, but I would say my greatest weakness is probably my fears. I let my fears get the best of me, and I will actually not do certain things just because of my irrational fears. So I would say that's my biggest weakness. What is my favorite pizza? This is probably gonna get hate if anybody actually comments on this video, because I don't have that many people that watch my stuff, but I like a vegetarian pizza with pineapple on it. And I know pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, and everybody thinks it's even grosser to add pineapple with vegetables. But if I can get a full-on vegetarian supreme pizza with, you know, onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, olives, and pineapple, that I think is my favorite. And then some places will even put cashews on there, and I love that too. And no, I'm not a vegetarian. What was your first thought when you woke up this morning? Is it already morning? I think that was it. I was like, crap, the kids are up. It's already morning. Do you get along with your family? Why or why not? I think I do and I don't, but I think that's with every family. There's definitely a lot of big problems in my family, a lot of animosity from one family member to another and stuff, but I feel like I personally am pretty neutral when it comes to family problems. Ugly and live forever, or look attractive and die in a year? Obviously, I'd rather be ugly and live forever. My biggest fear is death, so I don't care what I look like. I just want to be able to live my life and experience what life has to offer. So definitely be ugly. That's not an issue for me at all. Do you discover your wonderful 1-year-old child is not yours because of a mix-up at the hospital? Would you want to exchange the child to correct the mistake? No. I would want to meet the child, and I would hope that me and the other child's parent would agree that we wanted to keep the kids that were ours, but we would want to be in each other's lives. But if my child was already a year old, I wouldn't want to take them from who they thought their mother was, unless of course she was like a terrible person, and then I would take my child. But if she was a legitimate, like, good mom, I would never take that baby from her, and I would hope that she would never do that to me. Would you be willing to lie to a court for a close friend if it meant saving your friend from going to jail for life? I think that depends on what it was. Did they murder somebody because, like, they have mental issues? No. Did they murder their ex-husband because he was beating them and she knew she couldn't get away and was raping their baby, yeah, I would. Would you be willing to eat a bowl of crickets for $40,000? I've eaten a couple crickets for free, so yes. Yes, I would. If you could have anyone locked in a room so that you could torment them for a day, who would you choose and how would you torment them? I don't think I would want to torment anyone. Maybe somebody who had done like something super, super bad. Like somebody who had like tortured another person or like hurt a young child. I guess I could like maybe torment them, but like it would, I don't know. I don't think I could ever like do that to somebody. Do you feel children should be sheltered from unhappiness? Yes. I had a very unhappy childhood. I had a very hard childhood, and my childhood was completely chaotic, and it was a miserable chaotic. It was miserable, you know. I had a chaotic, disgusting home life. We had roaches and piles of trash, and nobody cleaned, and my parents were on drugs, and then I would go to school and I would be tormented for being the smelly kid, and I would never want that for another child. So yes, I think children should be sheltered from unhappiness, at least to a certain point. If you could have personally witnessed anything, what would you want to have seen? I would have loved to see my children born. Unfortunately, the epidural didn't work when I had my emergency C-section, and they had to put me completely under, and I get sad when I think about the fact that I wasn't able to witness the birth of them. I was there physically, but I wasn't there to be able to experience it, you know. And I see a lot of videos of people who have given birth, and they, you know, have their baby come out and they plop them on their stomach or on their chest, and you're able to see the baby with all of their goop. I wanted to see the goop. I wanted to see them when they came out, and unfortunately I wasn't able to. So I think that that would definitely be something that I wish I could have witnessed. If you could wake up tomorrow in the body of someone else, who would you pick and what would you do? I've always said that if I was a boy, that like I would be sticking my wiener in anything and everything, and I still think that's true. So I would definitely be a guy. And I don't know what guy I would be, but I would probably be a guy, and I would be sticking my wiener in anything and everything. Just because like I'd want to know what it feels like. I know that sounds so bizarre, but that's what I would choose. If you could be any age for a week, what age would that be? I would love to maybe be like a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, but like in a good house. Like in a good household. What question do you hate to answer? Probably how many people I've slept with. If you could only have one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? Sushi. Sushi, sushi, sushi. I could eat sushi every single day of my life, and I don't think I could ever get tired of sushi. Sushi is 100% my answer. Sushi every day. Where do you go to get on a computer? I go into my office. I have a computer, my husband has a computer. How do you start a conversation? I don't. I try not. I'm kind of antisocial when it comes to like real life experiences with stuff, and so I'm kind of like that awkward quiet one until somebody really starts a conversation with me. But I guess if I'm going to start a conversation, it's like, oh, hi, you're pretty. Because, I mean, I'm honest. I think a lot of women are pretty, and so I'll be like, you are so pretty, and a lot of times that'll spark a conversation. But like for the most part, I try not to just like randomly talk to people. I'm awkward. What keys on a keyboard do you not use? Probably, I don't know. Maybe the ones that are on the keyboard that kind of control the sound and stuff. I barely use that. Or the one that locks your numbers, number lock. I probably don't use that because I like my numbers to always be unlocked. I use that versus like the F keys. If you had a brainwashing machine, who would you use it on? Probably people who have had trauma in their life. Just get rid of it. If I could brainwash you into thinking that you were never abused, then you would be a happier person, right? Like, ignorance is bliss. You are walking home in the dark and you see something move. What and who is it? Guess. What do you do? You are walking home in the dark and you see something move. What or who is it? Oh, and then it's telling me to guess. What would you do? Yeah, I don't know. Usually if it's somebody in the dark, I usually just stand there and see what they're going to do, and I'm kind of like ready to fight, because I used to walk around in the dark all the time, and I always had an open knife in my pocket, like a pocket knife. I would have it open in my pocket and keep my hand in there. That way if I had to, I would stab somebody, because like him, it's kind of scary, and I shouldn't have been walking around at night. Like, have you ever stopped and thought to yourself, like, why am I alive? Like, I've done so many stupid things when I was younger. I'm surprised that I'm alive. What is the strangest name someone has introduced themselves as to you? What is their real name? What is the strangest name someone has introduced themselves to you as? What is their real name? This one guy that my sister's friends with is like, hi, my name's, I'm gonna change his name. He's like, hey, my name's Brett, but my friends call me Satan. I was like, alright, cool. Like, I don't want to know why you're called Satan. Like, he was a really nice guy too, so I have no idea why they called him that. Where were you 3 hours ago, and do you think someone was stalking you? I was in my house 3 hours ago, and I don't think anyone's stalking me. I don't think I'm interesting enough for anybody to stalk me. Like, I live a pretty boring life. Kiki, what do you want? What do you want, kitty? This cat is harassing me. He's chewing on my foot right now. Have you ever eaten a crayon or glue? What strange thing have you eaten? I've probably eaten a crayon, and I've probably eaten glue, but something that I actually have to tell myself not to eat even to this day is Play-Doh. I don't eat it. It's, but a couple of my close friends and now the whole internet, they know I love the smell of Play-Doh. I could sit there and just smell Play-Doh all the time, and I've tasted it a couple times, and it's salty, and it doesn't taste bad at all. I don't wake up craving Play-Doh or anything, but when I'm playing with it with my kids and stuff, it takes a lot for me to not want to like take a teeny little piece and eat it. What type of music do you listen to? I listen to a lot of different music. I'm pretty eclectic when it comes to that. I love 80s rock, I love metal, I love country. I love older country. I don't really like the newer stuff. I like classical, but I don't really know a lot about it. I just turn it on when I need to like woo-song calm down. I like older R&B and rap. I like, what else do I like? Kitty, you are being a brat. I am going, you see this face? You see this? I am trying to film. Oh, you're still gonna harass me, huh? Leave my tripod alone. So, yeah, I mean, I like everything. Hell, I love Hanson. I am obsessed with Hanson even to this day. Like, I still want to meet them. I fangirl. Like, I think Hanson is, like, the only band I would ever, like, fangirl over. What cheers you up? My husband can normally cheer me up. What else cheers? Food. I'm an emotional eater. Food always makes me happy. Which is, it's a sad situation, but it's true. Food makes me very happy. What do you constantly think about that either makes you sad or just anything? I constantly think about what I'm gonna do next in life, and I feel like a lot of times I'm so consumed with my next idea of how to, do this or that I almost don't live in the present. Is there something you constantly lose at your house or anywhere? My phone. I'm constantly losing my phone. Sometimes I'll be on my phone looking for my phone, and then I have to go, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Like, I'll be having a full-on conversation, just talking to somebody. I'm walking around the house looking for my phone, and I'm like, oh duh, I'm on the phone. So it's my phone. Do you have a favorite book or read much? Why or why not? I like reading. I don't have a lot of time to read. Right now I am on the 4th book of Harry Potter. I think it's the 4th book, or it's the 3rd book. One of the books of Harry Potter, and it's the one with Goblet of Fire, and it's just, I don't know, I'm not into it. and I'm trying to get into it. But I do like reading, yes. What is the longest you have gone without sleep? The longest I think I've gone without sleep was maybe when my mom died. I think I was on almost 36 hours without sleep just because everything was so chaotic and going back and forth to the hospital, and then like the grief of losing her, I couldn't sleep. So I want to say like probably 36 hours. Do you have anyone you go to for advice in person or online? I think if I go to anybody for advice, it's normally my husband or it is my godmother. What is a habit you're proudest of breaking or want to break? I've broken a habit and I can't think of what the habit is. Biting my nails is one. I don't bite my nails anymore. What's another habit that I broke? Oh, I don't smoke weed anymore. That's a huge one. Like I wouldn't say like I was physically addicted, but mentally I was addicted to weed, and I don't smoke it anymore. So I think that was a big habit to break. Is there anything I should know? No. What do you order or not order at a restaurant you have been to or never been to? I normally don't order. I love seafood and I love sushi, which is raw fish, but I don't like cooked fish. So I don't ever order fish unless it's like a fish taco. What is your favorite word? I have no idea what my favorite word is. Food, sushi, like those are probably my two favorite words. When it comes to my least favorite word, there are so many and I don't understand. Like fleek, I don't like that word. I was all big and pregnant and working in the at Walmart, and one of the younger girls like comes in and she's like, oh my god, your eyebrows are on fleek, and I was like, and I had to Google it because I was like, what the hell is fleek? I don't like the word shook. I don't like the word memes. Like when you're talking to a kid and you're like, oh, you want to go memes? For some reason it irritates me. Another one is if somebody's like, if you're in a competition, oh, I won you. No, you didn't. You beat me. If you won me, you would take me home and put me on a trophy case. You beat me. You did not won me. You can't won somebody unless they're physically going to go home with you. And if you're winning a human, like you're in some deep shit and some dark shit. Describe something that's happened to you for which you had no explanation. There's been a lot of weird occurrences. I mean, most recently me and my friend went to the beach and we lost an hour. Somehow, somewhere on our drive home, we totally lost an hour and we have no idea how. So, I mean, just weird stuff like that happens a lot. What did you do for your latest birthday? I think the day of my birthday, I remember. I forgot it was my birthday for the first like 45 minutes because I had rolled over and I realized that it was later than it was. My husband's alarm didn't go off, so I jumped out of bed and I'm like trying to help him get ready. I'm like, here are your pants. Let me make you coffee. What do you need to eat? And then by that time the kids were up because me and my husband were running around, you know, making noise. And then they started doing something. I think they had both pooped or something, so then I was changing diapers and getting them breakfast and, you know, still trying to drink my coffee, and then I thought to myself like, oh shit, it's my birthday. So like I didn't do much for my birthday this year. What holidays do you celebrate, and are you a religious person or not? I celebrate most holidays. I like holidays. They're a way to switch it up. My favorite holiday is Halloween, and I am not religious. I am spiritual. If you had to be named after a city, state, or country, which would you want it to be? Maybe my friend named her daughter Ireland, and I thought that was pretty, but I think if I got to choose, I'd want to be called Irelyn, like Irelynn, Ireland. I think that's a pretty name, and I really want to go to Ireland one day. Who is your hero? I don't really have heroes. I just have people that I know I don't want to be. As for heroes, I don't really have anybody. Which do you use more often, the dictionary or the thesaurus? I would say probably a thesaurus because I like to find alternative words to use so I don't sound redundant. Have you ever been stung by a bee? I have not necessarily been stung by a bee, but I have stepped on a bee. And it hurt and itched like hell. I think my foot itched for a good month after, and my foot got all swollen, but I didn't go into anaphylactic shock or anything. I'm still filming? Cool. Have you ever tipped a cow? No. What's the sickest you have ever been? I can think of 2 occasions when, oh, my leg is asleep. Ugh. I can think of 2 occasions that I've been really, really sick. The first one I can think of, I was probably like 15 at the time, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I had some weird rash on my body. My head was killing me. I was throwing up. I had a fever of like 104.3 or 104.5, something like that. And my dad had taken me to the emergency room, and I get back there pretty quick, and they found out that I had a virus. They don't know what virus I had, but they said that I had a bad virus, and so they gave me a couple shots, and I was good like within 2 days. The second time I was the sickest is the second time that I was the sickest, I would say minus after having the kids, because I was so anemic. I was actually pregnant with my boys again, and I had gotten the flu, and I thought I was dying. I was in the emergency room, and they gave me like 3 or 4 bags of fluid, and I was still dehydrated, and I was getting dizzy, and I just did not feel good. I literally told my husband, I'm like, I'm okay with dying at this point. I'm afraid of death, but like that time, I thought to myself, if I die, I die. Like, I was that miserable. Okay, are you still learning who you are? Hell yes. I'm just now, I feel like, really learning who I am. Before, you know, I was who I had to be for the situation that I was in. And I think now I'm actually at a point in my life where I'm really starting to learn who I am. And I'm super indecisive. Like, if we go out to eat, a lot of times I'll just be like, oh, I don't know, order for me. And now I'm starting to think about, what do I like? And figure out who I am, because I don't know who I am. I'm very confused. Are you afraid of heights, or what are you afraid of? I am definitely afraid of heights, only because I'm afraid of dying, which is the biggest fear. Anything that can lead to death, I'm afraid of. Have you ever taken dance lessons? Who would you want to dance with? I have never taken dance lessons. I don't really have any want to take dance lessons, and I don't know who I would dance with. I guess my husband. What is the most memorable class you have ever taken? I didn't really do school. I did a lot of ditching school. Like, I would take the bus to school to ditch, to be able to, like, to get a ride closer to, like, where I would ditch to, and then I would just, like, get stoned all day. Because, like, I was so far behind in school from taking care of my mom that there was really no point in me going. Like, I was trying to pay attention and I was trying to learn, but I couldn't because I didn't know the basics. And so I was just, like, sitting there not understanding. So I was like, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna leave. And then I just got high, which is sad now that I think about it. What's your favorite commercial? Probably one of the Mayhem commercials for Allstate. The one where he's like a raccoon in the attic. I think that one's kind of funny. Or the baby. There was one of like a baby inside of the mom, and he's like pulling on, I think it was a Carl's Jr. commercial, and he's like pulling on his umbilical cord, and he's like, wait till I get out of here, or something like that. I thought that one was kind of funny. What is your favorite breakfast food? Does gravy count? I like biscuits and gravy. I think that's like my favorite breakfast. And I mean, obviously biscuits and gravy wouldn't be biscuits and gravy if there was no gravy. So sausage gravy, that's what I like. Do you like guacamole? Have you ever been in a food fight? I do. I love avocado, so I love avocado anyway. Have I ever been in a food fight? Kind of. The few times that I did go to school, there was food fights at the high school that I would go to, and there was these 2 soda machines, and I would just like stand behind the soda machines and just watch the fight because I didn't want to get hit in the head with any food. What is your favorite thing to spend money on? Probably like craft supplies or office supplies. I have a small obsession with office supplies. It's a weird quirk that I have. I love pens and paper and sticky notes and all of that. And so like I've said it before, like if I had the chance to like spend X amount of money at any store, it would probably be like a Michael's or an Office Depot or a Staples or something. As sad as that is. What is the weirdest thing about you? Are you proud of it? I don't know. I'm just generally I'm just a weird person. I'm a weird person in general, so I don't really know what the weirdest thing about me is. Probably just the conversations that I have and my randomness. Ever been in love with 2 people at the same time? Do you think that's wrong? I've never really, I thought I was in love with two people at the same time, but I think I was a teenager and I thought that I was in love and it was puppy love. And yes, I felt really bad. I was like, crap, what do I do? I never thought I would be in that situation, let alone two people be interested in me at the same time. That was a good one. Ever had any relatives in jail? I've had lots of relatives in jail. Lots and lots of relatives in jail. Glass half full or half empty? Or is the glass just malformed? The glass just is. It's not empty, it's not half empty or half full. It's whatever you want to do with it, and it's however you want to look at the situation. It just is. Mountains or beach? View or the mountains or beach? View or the TV? I don't understand that question. Mountains or beach? I don't know. I love them both. Maybe the mountains, just because I've been to the beach recently, but I haven't been to the mountains recently, and I would love to just go into the woods and sit under the trees and just enjoy nature. View or the TV? I think that means, like, do I want to see a view out in the open, or do I want to watch something on TV? I would much rather see a view out in the open in real life. Airplane, train, or car, boat, subway, or teleportation device? Teleportation device. I hate getting places. Teleportation device 100%. If you could retire tomorrow, what would you do? If I could retire tomorrow, what would I do? I don't know. Probably go on vacation without my children because they'd be grown by then. Ever sold or donated your blood? If you haven't, do you want to? I have never sold my blood, but I've donated my blood quite a bit. I want to donate my blood again, but I have to wait probably another 8 months because I just recently had surgery to remove a couple things that we were afraid were more cancer. So I gotta wait a year after, but I've donated my blood because my blood, they use it to give to premature babies. I'm missing a certain bacteria in my blood that most people carry, and that kills newborn babies, or premature babies and newborn babies, because they don't have the antibodies to fight it off, and so my blood goes specifically to them. Crowds, small groups, or go away? I'm a loner. I would say small groups or go away, because a lot of time, even if I'm in a small group, first of all, I hate crowds. Walmart gives me anxiety. I'm ready to like cry and rip people's heads off in Walmart. So I'm not really a fan of big crowds. I like small gatherings of people that I know, but after that's said and done, I need to retreat. I need to just kind of like be myself. Like even when we went to a family reunion in June, I found myself like leaving the group and just being me for a minute because I feel like I need that. And my son is the same way. Describe the most terrifying moment of your life so far. Have you recovered from it? My most terrifying, there was two probably. One was when I found out that I was going to be put under to have my C-section. That terrified me because I was afraid that I was going to die, and I almost did. And then I want to say the next terrifying moment was probably when I was diagnosed with the cancer, because we didn't know how far it was because it looked so bad and so big. Lucky for me, it was only stage 1. But that was definitely I think two of the most terrifying moments of my life. Also when my son almost died. What famous person do people tell you that you most resemble? I've only gotten it like twice. Actually, no, I've gotten 3. So a lot of people say I look like a fat little mermaid because of, the long red hair. Somebody else said that I worked with him at the hospital, and he always told me that I looked like Julia Stiles, which I don't see it. And then a lot of people have told me that I look like Amber from Teen Mom. And I don't know, that's what I've gotten so far. What is the strangest thing you have ever eaten? I like a little bit more of like bizarre foods. Like I like lengua. I can eat tacos de lengua like all the time. I love them. So like the fact that like I eat tongue probably freaks people out a little bit. Raw fish probably freaks some people out. I love seaweed salad. Let's see. When I was pregnant, I was obsessed with putting pickles on my pizza. I really liked pickle pizza. I don't know. I think that's it. I don't really eat super, super strange stuff. If you could bring any person back to life, who would it be? Probably my mom. Just so that I could talk to her as an adult and really kind of understand the reason that she did the things she did. Do you believe honesty is the best policy? For the most part, yes. There's obviously certain times that I think a white lie is okay, but for the most part, just be honest. It's so much easier if you're just an honest person. What dead person would you least want to be haunted by? Probably somebody who was like evil. I would hate to be haunted by somebody who was like a serial killer, or somebody who like did like, I wouldn't want to be like haunted by Hitler. Hitler was a scary dude and he would want to kill me. I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes, you know? So like, I don't know, I would hate to be haunted by somebody who like hated people that looked like me, or like hated people in general. Like, I think I wouldn't want to be haunted by that person. Who would you most like to be stuck in an elevator with? Maybe a celebrity, just to see if I could have like a legitimate conversation with them, you know, not about being famous, just a general conversation. That'd be kind of cool. Who is the last person you would like to be? I wouldn't want to be somebody angry at everybody around me, and I wouldn't want to be somebody who was like vindictive. I wouldn't want to be somebody that like hurt people. So I would say like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be a bad person. What do you think Victoria's Secret is? Victoria's Secret is? Like the brand? Or like, what is her secret? Her secret is that she's really, really expensive and she doesn't like chunky people. That's Victoria's issue. That's her secret. Which cartoon character do you resemble the most? Probably a Fat Little Mermaid. Or Ursula. I've always thought I looked like Ursula. Just, you know, not purple. Would you rather go a week without bathing, but be able to change your clothes, or a week without changing your clothes, but be able to bathe? Probably be able to bathe, but not be able to change my clothes. Which one of the 4 seasons do you most love or hate? I absolutely love fall. I hate summer. I don't like it. I wish we could just skip over it and it could just go back and forth between fall and winter and then give me a spring like every other year. I don't like summer. I despise summer, especially in Southern California. Like specifically where I live, it can get up to 112 degrees and it's humid and it's miserable and I don't like it. If you could choose your method of dying and where, what would they be? I want to die in my sleep so I don't even know I'm dying. I just want to be gone. Like, I don't want to die a tragic death. I don't want to be told that I have some illness and I have to deal with the fact that I know when I'm going to die. Like, I just want to go to bed one night and not wake up. Because I have to do it. If I could, I would just not die. If you had to be trapped in a TV show for a month, which would you choose? Even though I'm not the biggest Doctor Who fan and I've only seen like the first, I think, 2 seasons? Probably Doctor Who, because like you'd be able to travel places. I would say definitely I'd like to be trapped in Doctor Who. List someone you know and describe them in 5 words. My husband. Loving. Tall. Supportive. Hardworking, even though that's 2 words, but I'm gonna say it's 1. Hardworking. What's another one? Funny. You can select one person from history and have them truthfully answer one question. Who would you select and what is the question? Ooh, this is a hard one. One person from history. Tesla? I would maybe want to talk to Tesla and ask him like how he felt about that whole Einstein thing. I don't know. Who would I ask? I'd probably pick somebody from the government and have them truthfully tell me if aliens are real. Probably somebody from the government. If you join a circus, what would you perform? I'd probably end up working with animals. So I would probably help the animals perform, and I wouldn't actually like be the performer. If anything, that or I'd be a clown, because like I could do my clown makeup and act like a dork. It doesn't seem super hard. Is there anything purple within 10 feet of you? Yes, there is. Let me get it. Makeup brush, purple. I have lots of purple makeup brushes. Ooh, and I like purple. It's a pretty box, and I have stuff in it because it's a box, and that's what you do with them. So when was the last time you bought something, and what was it? The last time I bought something, ooh, yesterday at the 99-cent store, I bought a couple things for my Halloween YouTube videos. Are you wearing socks right now? No, I am not. It's too hot to wear socks. Have you been to the movies in the last 5 days? No, I have not. I haven't even been to the movies in the last 5 months. When was the last time that you ran or went for a jog? Middle school? So like 15, 16 years ago? Your dream vacation, worst vacation, and best vacation. My dream vacation would definitely be to somewhere like Ireland or Switzerland or like any of the Nordic countries. I think that would definitely be my dream vacation. Even parts of Germany I would love to go to. My worst vacation, I don't really have one because I've never, the only vacation I've ever been on is when I went to vacation of the family reunion in June, and that was really awesome, minus the fact that housekeeping stole my tablet. Worst injury you have ever had? Not counting like the injuries that, you know, like a C-section or like my cancer, I would say the worst injury that I've ever had was probably sunburns. Or I don't know if it's considered an injury, but I had a really, really bad staph infection under my left armpit right here, and it was swollen out to there. And when I was finally able to pop it and drain it, I filled up a whole 2 rolls of like the big fat thick toilet paper. And I had my friend, like I was biting on a sock, and I just had my friend pressing around it, and it was just coming out. It was disgusting because we were so poor. I didn't have any insurance. I was 18 at the time, and my dad was taking all my money from when I was working and stuff, and so like I was totally broke, couldn't go to the hospital, couldn't go to the doctor. And then finally when I was older and the doctor asked about the scar, he was like, dude, you could have died. He was like, that's right near your artery. So I'm so lucky I'm still alive for that one. So I would say that was definitely like one of my worst injuries. And that is the very, very, very last question. So if you actually sat through this whole video, like kudos to you, and go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.